In CK3, there are many empire titles, some of which are much better than others. In this video, I used the War Game Rules mod to make all of them exist on the map in 867 to see who survives and who falls apart. Let's start. Here we are, and as you can see, all the empire titles exist in 867. They do have one-to-one borders. There isn't any differences at all in the realms map and the empire map, so they're all one-to-one. And looking around at all the guys, you can really see that there's some strange oddities involved here. Like, for some reason, the Empire of Arabia is Orthodox. For some reason, he is not going to last very long, obviously. There's like 10 Orthodox provinces in his realm in total. Compared to hundreds of Coptic and Ashari provinces in his realm, it's not going to last too long. Another example would be this Norse guy over here, who owns majority Slavic and Ukonusko religion provinces. Looking at some other interesting things, the Umayyads control the Empire of Iberia, I think this one is called, or Hispania. I mean, Francia is owned by some random guy for some reason instead of the Carlings. The Carlings own West Francia, but not the Empire. That's great. How did I not notice this? Germania is not going to last long either. I don't know how this mod works when it's making empire titles, but that's super bad for them. They're going to be gone in like 2 years max. The Byzantines are here, and all the beginning wars are happening too, also, by the way. So that includes Britannia in this war that they are definitely not going to win. They don't even have 1,000 troops. They're not going to win this. So yeah, here's a brief little look at the religions, I guess, if you guys are kind of interested. And you want to see something that I didn't point out. Here's a brief overview of cultures. Let's go 100 years in the future and see what happens here. It's 967 and a few of our friends have left us. Well, actually, I would say the majority of our friends left us. There's only a few guys left, maybe 10, 11 guys out of, I guess, 20, I think. The first thing I want to point out is that the Arabian Empire basically immediately installed an Ashari guy on the throne instead of that Orthodox guy, which is pretty funny. And after House Kadari was installed on the throne, they're pretty stable. Ajaran is over here, which is probably going to be the only time I ever mention them in this entire video. Kanim Bornu's doing kind of bad. Mali's still around kicking. Francia's definitely on the way out. 300 troops. How is he so low in troop count? Everybody else is decently high in troops, I guess, but he's just horrible. His full strength army is probably around 600 guys. That's super low for a guy with 103 counties. Britannia fell apart and Scandinavia is doing their tradition of invading, obviously. They converted pretty quickly to Catholicism though. It's only 100 years in, and they're already Catholic. Usually it takes around 150, so super quick. Germania obviously fell apart. That was not going to stand. And I've come to a conclusion of why this happened, why that Slavic guy took over. You actually can't form Germania as a Catholic. You can only form the HRE, so that's probably the reason why that happened. Italia's doing pretty good for itself, besides the fact that it's about to die. I'm glad to see that France and Italy want to die together. That's pretty nice of them. Wallachia is Tengri and owned by the Avars. Pretty cool. The Byzantines have lost land. I don't expect them to die out. They'll last until 1453 easy. This one Azarika guy is taking over Persia. Same with the Seljuks too. Kind of interesting. Whoever wins out on Persia here will drastically change history, so I'll keep an eye on that one. Tibet is doing amazing. For their size, they've barely lost anything at all. No Siberian Empire survives. And then of course you have the two really boring Indian guys sitting over here, probably going to do nothing the entire game. They're both Buddhists too. Yeah, they're not going to change at all. Here's a brief overview of religions. Nothing too interesting religions besides that already exists in Scotland and in Ireland. Let's go until 1067 and see what happens. The time has come around again to look at the world. We definitely aren't gaining empires. I'm gonna actually count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, actually, Ajaran is still a part of it, so let me actually get my count again. I forgot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Britannia actually reformed. They fell apart, but they're back now. And it's just Wales, England, and Scotland. No Ireland. They do have Northern Ireland, though. We have this massive peasant kingdom, one of the biggest I've probably ever seen. 25 county peasant kingdom. Pretty impressive. The Queen of Frisia is trying to do some Lotharingia style thing here. France is still owned by a Carling. Pretty cool. The Empire of Hispania completely fell apart. Basically, the entirety of Iberia is Muslim now. The Empire of Italy fell apart. I'm pretty sad about that. I figured that they'd be the most stable empire out of everybody, but that's just not how it went down. Great Moravia is owned by a Carling. Bavaria is. This is cool. There's a Waldensian hideout in like Livonia, Estonia. Pretty cool. And just little bits of, what do they call this area again? Oh yeah, Karelia. Novgorod is Muslim in this faith. How did that even happen, dude? So this lady was Muslim too. That's super odd. That is super, super odd. Mordvinia is owned by a Tengri Greek, and the Byzantines are completely falling apart at the seams. The Arabians are by far the scariest threat on the entire map. Tibet's expanding, and this Indian power obviously, I don't know which one took over which. I'm pretty sure it's the Deccan Kingdom that took over Bengal. So yeah, here's a little look at religions. That one, Azarika faith, converted to a much more tame sect of being a Muslim. Let's go and actually wait till the Mongols get here. Alright, the Mongols are here. Temujin has decided to convert to Buddhism, which is a very, very questionable decision in my opinion. It's probably the worst faith he can convert to. This whole dharmic pacifism thing does not help him by any means. Other than that, there's nothing to really talk about. He's still expanding around. The Arabian Empire is falling apart. I know for sure that they're not going to get Egypt back though. And it's ruled by a Tulanid too. So I'm guessing that when the Arabian Empire was formed, maybe the Tulanids did exist, but they just owned the Kingdom of Egypt, is what I'm assuming. Guinea is somehow back from the dead, but it's not actually the Empire of Guinea. It's just the Kingdom of Guinea that's absolutely just threatening. I would say it's a 95% that in West Africa, it's just going to convert to being a Shari or a Badi. It happens every single time. Italy owns Tunis and Songhai expanded into Morocco. Pretty interesting. Iberia is consolidating up, and there's a Buddhist guy in Toledo, which is absolutely hilarious. I don't even know where this came from. Probably a mental break is what happened. Britannia hasn't expanded too much. Lotharingia exists now, and they're definitely doing Lotharingia type things with this absolutely hideous borders. The peasant kingdom of Arnheim looks pretty sweet. Pretty nice borders too. Pomerania's here, and the Avars still own Hungary, but they are Orthodox now. The Byzantines probably won't survive the Mongols. If I had to bet, it's probably over. The Seljuks somehow just don't exist on the map at all. There aren't even any breakaway houses or anything. That's pretty surprising. And then of course there's a Buddhist guy expanding into Persia too. And then these two Indian guys who have basically stayed the same the entire game. Let's go see the Mongols fall. This is pretty surprising. They lasted around 30 years, which is super, super early for a Mongol empire to fall apart. One of them is Buddhist, one of them is Muslim, he's Buddhist, and he's actually Hindu. The Ilkhanites for sure are gonna fall apart. Yeah, they're already in the process of falling apart actually. Another cool thing is the Empire of Mali exists, but nothing really happened. It was only 30 years, so let's go till 1453 and see what happens. Here's a quick intermission. I took a glance at my screen and I saw this. Kingdom of Catholic Bulgaria. That means that the Byzantines aren't Orthodox. There's some other faith apparently. Because obviously Crusades can't be called against Orthodox Christians. So, let's kind of reveal what they are. Apparently they're Mandeans now. How much have they converted? I didn't even see this happening. Oh, wrong button. Okay, so it's kind of new. That's crazy. I really hope that it stays and they actually convert. That would be super funny. What the? What happened here? Why is everybody following this faith? What even happened here? This has got to be the most insane thing I've ever seen in these time lapses. Nothing will ever beat this, by the way. Nothing at all. Basically, the entirety of Europe converted to Mandianism for seemingly no reason that I can discern. If there's an explanation for this, I don't know it. This has got to be the most random thing I've ever seen in this game. So looking around at the rest of the world, trying to ignore that massive bombshell, I guess. The Empire of Nubia took over Egypt and it basically converted everything. All the Muslim faiths are really gone at this point too. Same with the Christian ones, obviously, but the Mandians are pushing into Western Africa too, taking all those guys out. The Empire of Italia is back. The Empire of Navarre is absolutely massive. How many counties? Only 161. They age reformed. I don't know what kind of holy empire this is. This is pretty unholy in my opinion, but Britannia's there, Scandinavia's there, Carpathia's there. And they have a pretty cursed culture combination. Avaro-Cypriot. What a random combination that is, huh? The Byzantines are also Avaro-Cypriot. The Persian Empire is around. And the person who rules that empire actually held on to the Arabian Empire in the beginning of the game. So, pretty cool. The Southern Indian person fell apart. The Northern one lives. The Black Horde is around and they're playing super tall. So, like, what do you even say to this, man? Mandia dominates half the world. Coptic dominates Western Africa, Egypt, and Buddhism dominates the eastern part of the world. Just like the worst, most random combination I could have ever thought of is here. Looking at cultures, there isn't anything that's too shocking, I would say. Besides, Gedish dominates over Swedish and Esto-Russian, I guess. If you guys have any other ideas for videos, just let me know. And thank you for watching.